What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today on Madden 22, and today it is a realistic style rebuild of the Tennessee Titans, a team that did really well. You know, a team that needed their quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, to take over, step up for them, and he simply just didn't, leading to the drafting of Malik Willis. Of course, it's a little bit of a different situation than some of the other situations we've seen with potentially moving on, as this was one of those best value for your buck situations. I mean, there's teams that are even in, better situations at quarterback than the Titans that maybe even would have pulled the trigger, as he just kept falling, and, one of those teams kind of being, well, wouldn't be better, but a team like the Seahawks not grabbing him, super questionable. But obviously this is a very new look team. You have a brand new wide receiver 1, a brand new wide receiver 2, a brand new tight end 1, a brand new what appears to be left guard 1. I also can't remember who their right tackle was last year, but this man was not starting. I don't even know if there's enough tape on him as a pro to even say if he's going to be decent. Defensively, they lost a bunch of names. They added guys like McCreary, but this is specifically on offense a super new look team. As far as the blocking goes, though, Taylor Lewan's always been pretty good. Nate Davis is pretty good. Ben Jones is pretty good. Once again, the right tackle, I don't know a whole lot about. I'm going to be honest. It's going to be their biggest question mark for sure. And then left guard, he should have enough talent around him if that's where he's playing to step up and at least be serviceable. As far as tight end goes, Austin Hooper kind of got outshined by David Njoku. Not the worst fit for this team, though, as they're not needing Austin Hooper to go super vertical and, get him 50-yard gains or anything like that. Treylon Burks, I can't really even necessarily blame them for the A.J. Brown trade, as, they had to pay. The Eagles had to pay for him. The value they got from the trade itself, it wasn't necessarily just, is A.J. Brown worth keeping, but is he more valuable or worth a first-round pick? Did they also get a third round? I can't remember. And the crazy money that they would have had to pay? I don't know. It's hard to tell, but A.J. Brown's a really good blocker, solid receiver. I think they probably should have kept him, especially with the uncertainties of Robert Woods coming in after a pretty big injury. I think Robert Woods and, A.J. Brown would have been a great duo, but once again, the comp for Burks is A.J. Brown, ironically enough. So, maybe it'll work out for him. Might be a Stephon Diggs, Buffalo Bills kind of trade situation, where Jefferson gets added in return. Who knows? That's obviously the hope for the Titans. Derrick Henry, we're hoping, is back to his normal ways, as the man just carries the hell out of the team. And once again, Malik Willis maybe looking to start next season. And then, like we said, defensively, Jeffrey Simmons way on the up and up. Kevin Byard back to his normal ways. Cornerbacks, Farley really didn't play. McCreary, the new addition, is going to be playing number 3 for us. Bud Dupree, a terrible signing the moment the ink hit the pen. And, of course, after the fact, so far has not proven anyone wrong, even in the slightest. They may be making the same mistake with Harold Landry, getting very Nick Perry vibes from him right now, kind of average throughout his career, and then contract time hits and he just puts up some numbers and he gets paid. I think he has a little bit more potential than Bud Dupree does, but could be a really risky situation, leaving them with 2 really overpaid edges. We'll see. Of course, middle linebackers, David Long is probably better than Cunningham. If it wasn't for his cap hit or his dead hit, could even see Cunningham being released with Monty Rice being, kind of a starter. I don't know how much he played, but just seeing Cunningham really not being the greatest. And then, of course, D-line, they added Deshaun Hand, and then Autry's always been pretty decent as well. But once again, for our rebuild sense, a guy that is very old. So, got to replace Autry for sure. Middle linebacker could use an addition. Bud Dupree, I don't know when he's able to be off the hook. Speaking of hook, actually, Amani Hooker having a really solid year last year. Once again, becoming one of the better duo safeties in the league. It's hard to say because there are actually a lot of really good safety tandems in the league. Don't know where you would rank them. Top 6 minimum, probably. But yeah, the biggest question mark is and will always be quarterback Tannehill. Like I said, they needed him bad last year. Absolutely did not step up to the challenge, and because of that, could be looking for a team next season. And speaking of looking for a place to be, maybe you want to be here long term, maybe subscribe. You know, we do a ton of franchise stuff. I think you'll love it here. And yeah, if you're not new, appreciate your continued support a ton. Let's get into this. I can't tell how fast of a rebuild, but mid-level, I'd say 3 to 4 is probably the sweet spot, as usual, but I don't imagine it's going to be like any of the recent ones where we've had a year 1 Super Bowl win. So, of course, Derrick Henry was teaching the rookie Hassan Haskins, which I believe automatically gives him a star dev up, which it does, clutch as can be. Of course, I should probably take a look at some of the ratings. I didn't, this is another one of those rosters that I downloaded. I don't remember I changed much. Obviously, I gave Malik Willis star, which I think is fair, and I also made him 23, which, looking at his ratings, I mean, they seem kind of fair. Maybe some of the accuracy is a little bit high. Probably going to drop all the accuracies by 2. Mainly that short route, though. Short route, short accuracy. But I suppose short route accuracy. Whatever, dude. Of course, Treylon Burks. Take a look at him. 89 speed, 90 excel. I mean, you do get a lot of Debo vibes off of him, though. Like, you really do. It's a guy I actually really wanted Green Bay to take just because he's, he is more of that X wide receiver potential. And, yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll see the best out of him. All right, head to the playoffs. It was an okay season, but not good enough. It was an 8-9 year where Derrick Henry led the league in rushing yards, but we did not do so well in the passing game. Of course, Tannehill maybe needs to be replaced, but also could be a scheme issue. You don't really get a chance to throw it super far or super often. You can see under 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. 60% completion percentage is really where I'm not happy with it. Obviously, Malik Willis didn't really play, but in his limited playing, 75% completion percentage, I guess. Of course, rushing, Derrick Henry just went off. Haskins didn't really do too well, didn't really get many attempts in general. Robert Woods finished with over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Unlikely to go to Superstar, but it would be super clutch if he did. Of course, Treylon Burks, kind of expect something, maybe even a little bit less than that for him in real life. Nick Westbrook, of course, looking pretty damn good with 863 with 5 touchdowns. He's about to be 25. I mean, I think he's all right, but he needs to be paid, and I just do not know if I want to pay him. Same with Austin Hooper. Not bad, but I think the backup rookie that they drafted might be the guy for us down the line. Taylor Lewan might be replaced. Raduns, whatever his name is. I know he was a decently high rookie for them, but maybe need to replace him too. So a lot of different names on offense that may need to be changed again. Of course, Simmons, great numbers. Harold Landry, good enough for the money he's gotten. And then, as expected, Bud Dupree just continues to be a waste. The cornerbacks, the youngsters with some interceptions. Randy Bullock, not super great. I mean, really, if it wasn't for Henry, this team wouldn't even have gotten close to 9 wins. But we'll take, 9 wins, 8 wins. We'll take what we got, I guess. But it's still going to lead us into another season of just so many question marks. The winner of the Super Bowl was the Browns over the Cowboys, 2 really OP teams in the game, obviously. Looking at our dev ups, I thought maybe there was a sliver, the smallest ever chance that Robert Woods could have gotten a dev up. Still looking pretty good, though. What was his regression? I mean, very tame regression. Obviously, he's not the fastest guy to begin with, and that's usually the hugest upgrades or downgrades you get. But since he's low enough, they can't really downgrade him too much based on age. It's more or less a certain threshold, which he obviously already didn't meet anyways. Tannehill dropped a decent bit, and honestly, the way he played, probably deserving of the drop. Loses 1 to throw power, 1 to deep, 1 to short. Obviously very accurate, but that throw power, man. 88 throw power, his deep accuracy doesn't exist. And he's okay in the medium to short range. I think we could probably trade him off for a high second if we decide to trade him, which, I mean, we got Malik Willis sitting there. I think that's the most fun route and not the most unrealistic route, of course. Autry might be releasable if he is, based on age. I think we have to. And then Hand, I don't know if that was a 1 year, what kind of situation he was in real life, but he needs a contract right now, so I'm going to take a look real quick. If it's a 1 year deal that he signed, then yeah, I don't know about keeping him. Yeah, it was kind of like a 1 year situation, so probably going to let him go. He's not the oldest guy in the world, but he's just not a great player. I mean, 79 block sheds, okay. It's not terrible, but does he really have much potential going down the line? Probably not, right? But I also don't want to give us too much to have to replace, so I don't know. Of course, looking at free agents, not really a great bunch, as most people got paid. Not really seeing anyone, actually, that I'd be willing to grab. Bulaga is just too injury prone. I can't trust him to stay healthy. Austin Hooper, of course, a guy we let go. Maybe could have re-signed him. He had a decent season, but for Madden concerns, it was pretty tame, to be honest. Wait, do we even look at the defensive upgrades? Because I see Amani Hooker, I think, was only normal before. He's star dev now. Jacoby Myers. We could use a wide receiver. I would love to even move Robert Woods to the slot, even though he played pretty damn well as the number one. But I'm not sure that's really an option for us. I really think we need to add at least one interior-style defensive lineman. And, I think we're probably going to end up going tackle in the first round, depending on what kind of pick we have. Maybe it's a trade down. I'm not sure. But, yeah, offensive line needs a lot of work. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anyone here that's... Forget it. Ignore it. Don't look. We traded Ryan Tannehill over to Falcon. Jesus, Stro. To the Falcons for 2 second-round picks. Technically, it's 1 because, the updated rosters aren't actually updated, so that actually belongs to us. The trade from the Falcons for Julio. Obviously, that didn't last long, but that still was a second-round pick that was given up. Will Lutz, of course, added to the team as well. So the pick we have to get rid of is nothing, actually. What the hell am I thinking? We literally just have an extra second-round pick from ATL now. Which, a mid-second for Tannehill, I mean, he's pretty damn bang average, maybe slightly above average at his age. Probably pretty fair value, especially since you'd be getting him for like 18 mil technically, which isn't terrible money for a veteran. So we went a little aggressive, and we went for Akeem Hicks, who I actually think fits the scheme quite a bit, as Simmons is technically the left end, I believe, as we do need that nose tackle type. And, I mean, it's not like he's not technically, but, like, he's not as much of a nose tackle as Hicks, right? We could put Simmons there if we wanted, but Hicks is definitely, like, a clear-cut, more obvious nose tackle, and he's going to be a huge addition to this team. Obviously, he's probably, at this point in his career, looking for a team that's actually going to win Super Bowls. We could in that second year, though. It would not surprise me, but as far as, like, attraction goes, probably not, but at the same time, I think it was the Colts that was, the other team bidding. So not only did we take them away from the division rivals, but probably closer than the Colts, since the Colts quarterback situation is just as bad as ours, if not worse, and we're a little more balanced, kind of. Nah, maybe not. Maybe the Colts are a better team, but we offered more money, so, at the end of the day, right? Of course, fifth-year options, see what we have. I'm not sure who this would be. Simmons, speaking of... I think Simmons is expensive no matter what, so I guess we'll go with the fifth-year option. Why not? So this draft for us is going to be kind of a read and react draft, as I don't think we have the capital or the reach to get to where we want as far as a trade up, and a trade down isn't going to be super valuable for us, as we do have some players in the middle of this first round. Of course, the Jaguars go Stroud, so it seems like Trevor Lawrence really isn't working out for them. Of course, Bryce Young, that's a pretty obvious choice for the Lions. Pick 3, they go with a white tight end. Of course, shocker there. Instead of going with Will Anderson, they go with a white pass catcher. Of course, the Bills going to have a steal here. No, they're going to go with a wide receiver. Will Anderson going to the freaking Giants is just busted. Like, why does he always... I don't know, dude. Of course, Brian Robinson to Washington. Do I trade up? I mean, I don't know what the Saints' biggest need is. If it's not DT, I'm trading up for Breesy. I'm sorry. I know we've done it a couple of times. It is DT. Onyemata, they need a DT. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to let it happen because it would be very unrealistic for them to trade down when they have their god dream choice here just waiting for them, so we're going to let them have them. Yeah, as you can see, that's where they go, which, I mean, doesn't surprise me at all, right? That was their biggest need. He was there. The realism would have been gone if I would have traded for him. Wide receiver's kind of gone too, so we're probably going to go with the second best DT unless Paris Johnson's there. A lot of teams here are starting to go with players of actual need, which is cool to see. The Jets really rebuilding that defensive backfield The Texans at 13 go with Redmond. Very well could have went with our guy Dexter. I think he's our guy. I don't know. We have a couple of other options too, so let's just play it safe. And you know what? I'm going to go with Nolan Smith. He's got versatility. We could use really an edge rusher or inside, I suppose. So I guess Nolan Smith is going to be the pick. He's hitting development trade, 85 speed, 91 excel. I feel like that's a little on the lower end for speed. I feel like maybe 87 would be a little bit more fair, but I think we're going to probably end up playing him on the edge. Bud Dupree is just going to be a huge, massive, expensive mistake that we're just going to have to live with. Dexter, he looked okay, but he had 29 bench press reps. I just couldn't do that. Of course, you do have Darnell Washington. I'm really more willing to just work with the guys we have and just hope for the best, whereas, defense, pass rush, we absolutely need something to go our way. And then at pick 14, we may look to trade up. Trade 46, 110, and 155 for 36. 155 is a next year pick from the Bills, which is a pretty fair trade. Walter Parks goes, we need a tackle, not desperately, but it's definitely one of our bigger needs. Oh, you do also have Tim Smith there. Do we have any other DT choices? Thought we had one more later. Cansey could be a decent one as well. He's got a B finesse. He's got that 27 reps. He's super versatile. I kind of like him, though. I think, maybe he's a little undersized for that interior spot, but I think he could get the job done at the same time. But Caden Wallace, who's a little more iffy than Parks was for me, especially with those bench press reps, is going to have to be our trade-up choice. I don't know if I've ever even went for this guy, but I'm hoping for the best here, and he is hidden, thankfully, because, like we said, that 84 strength is brutal. We almost just took another bust tackle. We actually almost just did. Oh, I didn't even think about Dalcourt. Of course, center is a big need for the future, whereas not really as much right now. We have that late second. Well, mid to late second. It's not really that late. D pass block. Oof. Yeah, that scout did not go the way I was hoping it would. I guess let's just go to the pick and then just decide later. We're going to be trading down with the Ravens, gaining a 4th-round pick this year, a 7th-round pick next year to move down to 56, which is not super far behind. It's only 7 spots, actually, but we will absolutely take that. And with 24, I don't know if this class just updated on its own or I loaded the wrong one. Matthew Jones is a 2-3 in this. The Matthew Jones we used to see were, is a bit different than that. I'm trying to think if we actually need guard. I think left guard is our youngster, so we're going to probably just let that happen. Demas, we could use like a bigger guy. Well, he's not even bigger. He's 6'3", but he's really undersized for the weight department. Doesn't look bad. Wide receiver is a pretty big need for us. You could go Brew McCoy, who is that bigger guy that we're quote-unquote looking for, but he also looks way more raw than that. Cansey really kind of disappointed me after I scouted him again. I was hoping for something better in the block shed, but do we go with Cansey or do we go with Demas? Because Demas is 20, I'm going to go with him. I don't know if it's Demas. He's hidden development trade. He's also a little more athletic than I would have thought. I know that 4.46, but everything else wasn't looking great. Change of direction is awful, and especially for a guy that's 185 pounds, I figure the wind would change his direction for him. And honestly, it's always fun to trade up, but I actually don't think we have that ability here. Because we can land another lineman here in the second or in the 3rd round, like on the offensive side of things, whereas Cansey looks okay, but I don't think he's that good. We're just going to go to our next pick, and maybe if Cansey's somehow magically there because nobody wanted him, to be honest, I'd probably still pass on him, because if he's still here, that means he is bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about all that, but we have 3 linemen. Zeke Carell, 28 bench press reps. Then you have Ryan Walk, who we do know is star, but I kind of want to go with the more realistic choice rather than just because we know a guy is star because we've used the class a couple of times. And then Nestor, who is huge, but kind of a huge disappointment, actually. So, honestly, if I were to just kind of go off of what I would like, Carell's not the worst call because he does look like the more clear-cut center choice. Oh, actually, Ryan Walk is also pretty small. He's stronger as well. C pass block. I guess it's going to be Ryan Walk. I mean, It's a little bit of a boring pick, but it is an offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman. Like, offensive lineman picks are boring in general, but an interior offensive lineman, that's just like the most boring you can come by, right? At least a 6-strong tackle can be kind of fun. But ain't nobody getting excited about a 6'3", 295-pound center, right? Like, it's just, you relax. Actually, you can't relax. If you were to relax, you'd probably die because it's just, you're already so relaxed that you're falling asleep. I wish I knew more about this guy because he's got a really long name, and it'd be really fun to try to pronounce it all the time, but I know nothing about him. The bench press reps aren't enough. I don't know who Mikel Jones is, but I'm going to take him here late 4th. Normal development trait, 86 speed, 90 excel. Change direction is just god-awful, so is the agility. Jumping's okay. Maybe he actually finds a spot on the team as a starter. I mean, our linebacking group is kind of weak, so you just don't know. Traded our pick here for a 4th from the Vikings next year, which is pretty decent value. Minnesota's kind of one of those iffy teams, so that could be like a mid-4th. That's a whole round jump in, which is just insane. We're going to go with Peyton Thorne in the 6th round to be a backup to Mr. Malik Willis. 89 throw power, just enough speed if he had to get it done, but probably not a guy that's going to have to get it done. He's going to be sitting on that bench pretty hard. But you know what? My man's got the motivation. He will be the best bench warmer you've ever heard of. Of course, let's take a look at our overall. So 72 overall for the first pick overall. Wallace is only a 69 overall. 71 for Demas. 68 for the guard. 66 for Mikel, and as you can tell, it just gets worse and worse. But let's take a look at Mr. Nolan Smith's ratings, which puts him at a... I mean, he's a good, versatile guy. That catching is awful, but... I mean, I think he's going to start literally day 1 for us over Bud Dupree, who is just so awful. I want to take a look at his real-life contract, because obviously it's kind of a year in the future, so you might be able to get away with actually getting rid of him soon. So if we really wanted to, we probably could get rid of him. It would be a 10 mil dead hit. However, you would save 10 mil in cap, so we'll see kind of how much money we have, and if it's not a whole lot, then we probably will take that option, but... As far as Demas goes, really solid-looking player, actually. This guy's super underrated. Automatic number 3, obviously, but that's pretty sick. And then Ryan Walk, who we do not need to start yet, will be the center. And I'm thinking, once again, if we're broke and we need to re-sign players, that we may be getting rid of Taylor Lewan here for Mr. Wallace. Taking a bit of a step back, but to secure our financial future. Yeah, I mean, we don't really have anyone crazy to re-sign here, so I do worry a little bit about the fact that we had to take that huge dead hit of Tannehill, but outside of that, I don't think there's really anyone to have to worry about. Let's take a look at how good Radons is, who has a 61 pass block power. I think he's going to get replaced here by Caden Wallace. Wallace is already a better prospect day 1. But I will say, though, I mean, as far as Taylor Lewan's playing goes, he really hasn't been great, but I think this is going to be the play. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of future-proofing here a little bit. Not bad. All right, here is our Year 2 roster, technically Year 1 with Malik Willis. A little worried about the receiving group is, yeah, there's potential, but obviously Robert Woods, how much longer is he going to play at a decently high level? And Burks is, I mean, he really didn't develop super well, 4 overalls on the year. Considering he started as a 72 overall is really bad. Demas obviously has a lot of potential, but he's young, and he's only going to be playing the number 3 for the first year, maybe even his second year. Of course, offensive line, we have more potential with a young right tackle, the young right guard, obviously, and then a young center, Petit Friere, Petit, whatever. It's probably going to be our long-term left guard option, as he is pretty damn good. He's a low overall with no dev, but he's pretty good. And then Taylor Lewan, how long will that last? We'll see. Aquanquo, of course, a guy that has a lot of speed, guy that we're hoping to develop. He's 23 years old, has plenty of time. Number 9 is interesting. Maybe that's something he's actually wearing in real life. Nolan Smith, the automatic starter at left outside linebacker over Bud Dupree, who is absolutely gone next season. It's a little bit less of a cap hit. I will say we could still release Bud Dupree, which would be kind of an unprecedented move to release him after the season started, but obviously the defensive line didn't really upgrade it too much in the draft, but in the offseason, Akeem Hicks with Simmons is just freakily good, so we could surprise some teams with just our superstars that we have, guys like Byard, Simmons, Hicks. Harold Landry's decent enough. He had an okay season. Maybe Smith goes off. I didn't even look at his dev. He could be a superstar. But it really comes down to kind of what the offense can do. Derrick Henry, can he carry again? And, how do some of these other guys that are lower overalls develop? Hey, Malik Willis, a superstar with the QB breakout. Nice. Having a much better year this year. Of course, Nate Davis looking for about 10 mil per year, which is perfectly fine by me. Brett Kern, really good punter, but that age, man, he's up there. Of course, Amani Hooker is kind of deserving of a payday, so a 5, oh, hey, maybe not that high, but a 5-year, like 47, if he's cool with that, which he is. Ben Jones, probably going to be replaced. That's why we drafted the center guard. David Long, I think we should move on, dude. Like, it's just too long. I didn't mean to say that, but it's too long for him to be like a non-starter for, him to be developed now. But yeah, I mean, okay, fair enough. We have a lot more money than I thought as well, so I'm glad we didn't, do anything drastic and got rid of Lawan or anything like that. Headed to the playoffs, and let me tell you, it is a wow, really? We have a freaking wild card game at 14-3. It was an amazing season. Of course, let's take a look at the numbers. Let's take a look at the how the season went. Lost 2 games kind of early on, and outside of that, and the Chiefs lost. It was an amazing season. Obviously, losing that Chiefs game probably is what cost us the bye week. But looking at the stats, let's take a look at how Malik Willis played. Of course, 4,300 yards, 36 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Not like amazingly better than Tannehill, but considering it's his first year as a starter, technically a lot more. Amazing. Of course, 68% completion percentage on top of it. Really good year. Of course, Derrick Henry still killed it in the rush game. Robert Woods, the superstar development wide receiver. Of course, Treylon Burks. That's good, right? 904 with 7 touchdowns. That's still really good. Okonkwo, of course. Did I call him Okonkwo? It's okay. 672 with 5 touchdowns, literally just as good as Hooper. And then Demis, 647 with 4 touchdowns. Not bad. Of course, blocking, let's see. Taylor Lewan, once again, can't just jump the gun. He played so much better this year, and I'm glad we didn't get rid of him. Obviously, Caden Wallace, not terrible, but not great either as far as Madden concerns. Nolan Smith, 13.5 sacks, better than Landry by a lot. 6 sacks there, 7 for Simmons. Interceptions, 4 for Cunningham, who probably is a superstar now, but once again, what does it really matter? Lutz, not much better than Randy, to be honest, but better, I guess, and we still have him for another year. Mahomes gets MVP, of course, 14-3. Like I said, if we would have won that game, we're probably the team with the, not even probably, we are the team with the bye week, and yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. Henry, pretty good on the MVP list. Nolan Smith, obviously Rookie of the Year. Derrick Henry, obviously Best Running Back. And some awards for the Ravens there near the end. But a playoff berth, which is all you need to surprise some teams. Of course, Devontae Adams, not really that great. 966 with 11 touchdowns. But here we are. Let's go in. See if, is it Derrick Henry? Is it Malik Willis? Who's going to be the guy to maybe give us the push to win this game? We're obviously the team to beat in this game, but at the same time, our overall is lower than theirs. So, I mean, who knows how this could turn? A little surprised that the Raiders are as high of an overall as they are. Obviously, they do have some kind of higher overall, but older veterans on their team, so maybe that overall will drop, whereas ours, we kind of replace injury. Okay, we kind of replace some of our older guys with young guys this season, so this being the year that we're actually in the playoffs and winning the first game is a little surprising. But 31-7, a really good performance. Then again, you could also argue last year was maybe a fluke non-playoff season. Obviously, absolutely relying on Derrick Henry, I would imagine, because under 200 yards passing is brutal. Derrick Henry, like we said, and even Haskins. Of course, yards per carry were awful, but 2 touchdowns. Might be time to actually just invest in a true number 2 running back. But regardless, it ends up becoming, good enough to win a game. Cunningham, man. I mean, this man's going off. Simmons with 2 sacks, 1 for Akeem, 1 for Nolan. This would absolutely be our most surprising Super Bowl victory. Some of the other ones I can see. This one would be shocking to me. But at the same time, in real life, we have seen that this Derrick Henry only kind of team has been very close. So you just never know. You really just never know, but we'll see, obviously, going into the divisional round, who this could be. Probably probably not the Chiefs anyways, but the Steelers, who ended up taking the left tackle we wanted. So maybe a little bit of revenge here, although Caden Wallace is like, excuse me? Even though he was pretty awful, so what is he? He has no room to talk, to be honest. Oh, I didn't get to show it. There was a floating jet. It was stuck in midair. The jet was stuck. He's one of those. I mean, to be fair, if I was EA, I'd be like, you do know there's hover jets, right? Like a lot of the jets take off by hovering. It's like, okay, dude, let's stop. But of course, not a bad start to the game. 20-6, 20-13. Both teams kind of running heavy, rush heavy teams. It's Pittsburgh doing well. We're at the 10. Are we actually going to kick the field goal? Is the clock running? Can't call a timeout. It's got to be running. Are we going to hit it? Will Lutz, the new kicker, kicking us to the championship round. The Steelers are in shambles. What an unfortunate loss. Of course, this time the quarterbacks were, forced to kind of play well, and they did. They both played well, but Malik Willis was just slightly better. Of course, rushing-wise, Derrick Henry was slightly better. It's a lot harder to keep that average up when you rush for nearly 30 attempts. Of course, Haskins, after last week, even though he had touchdowns, definitely taking the ball out of his hands. Good move. The wide receivers, the big three got involved. I mean, even the big four, if you count the tight end, which I do, because he's played pretty well there in an okay season. As far as sack totals go, we really didn't do super well on the defense there, but Nolan Smith and Akeem Hicks will take. As far as picks go, nothing. Kicking, my boy, Will Lutz. Terrible in the regular season, but you know what? Made up for it there, without a doubt. And here is the matchup we were not looking forward to. The Chiefs in the championship round. They are so many overalls higher than us. We've been controlling the game with a ground attack, but man, this might be too tough of a task. We've been winning some pretty good games. Of course, on the other side, not a fun matchup regardless, whoever wins this one. But it does seem like whoever wins out of all four of these deserves it. All very good teams. Nice bounce back for Derrick Henry, I imagine, on the huge rushing touchdown on the Chiefs with a nice long drive. We counter with that. They get a field goal before half. I mean, not terrible, right? Down by 3, down by 6. Offense sold there, though. The Chiefs, what's the sitch? I don't think we deserve... I mean, it's not like we don't deserve it. What is wrong with this game, dude? Look at the clock! Look at the clock! Unbelievable! Like, are you joking me, dude? Freaking chew clock is on. Why would the clock be running that hard? 40 seconds. We're at the line, and the clock just drains 30 seconds down. Oh, my God. There is a legitimate chance to win the game there. Or at least, yeah, I mean, of course, this one looks like a snowy game. Completely different situation, but like a legit chance to win there. And they don't give it to us. So I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to like play this out when, once again, the clock will not stop if we go out of bounds. But I guess we'll try. Oh, my. So sad. Is that Traylon? Drops it, of course. I don't even know how many. Was that 5 seconds? Maybe we'll just make some crazy play happen so that it's like clear cut. It's like, oh, well, it doesn't matter how many seconds because they just scored on like 2 yards. Malik Willis. And I think we got out of bounds, but obviously I wouldn't be able to tell because the clock stopped. So let's say we have 27 seconds left. And I just hiked it because I was just too busy, like, I mean, I suppose it works. I mean, Demas, that would be like, I don't even know, like, I'm just randomly guessing at this point. 18 seconds left. Obviously, they're going to be playing the situation a little more differently. Yeah, I'm just going to call it that it's the game's back to even. We're going to sim it one more time. We lose by 100. We don't lose by 100. I don't care. I really don't care. Let's just throw it up to the guy. He's not even that big, but... yeah, it's big enough. let's sim it out. Whoever wins, wins. I mean, that was just such an unrealistic, way to lose that last one. Looks like, did it say we blocked their kick and then they just scored a touchdown anyways? 10-3, 10-6, 17-6. I kind of want the Chiefs to just win at this point because we win this game, people are going to be complaining about it. 20-9, 20-17, really big touchdown drive for them. Down by 3 in a tough situation. I kind of want to come in just to see what's up. They're going to go 5 wide in this situation. I mean, I guess when you're this good, just wasted our last time out, which was a really dumb move, but at the same time, the formation we had set there was going to kill us. We were literally about to lose the game there, so I guess in a way it was a calculated decision. And picked off by Nolan. In coverage, comes away with it. Of course, isn't going to be able to break that tackle, but we have all the time. Do I let the AI decide? We're going to have the same exact situation. Let the AI play it out. Screw it, dude. Do we just get sacked on the first play? I don't know what the clock situation is like. Dog shit game, dude. Whatever, we lose the game. It's just... It's so stupid, dude. It's so bad. Honest to God, how bad this game is. The clock just drains all the way. We're at the line of scrimmage, and it just drains. It's the 4th freaking quarter game. Come on. Oh, my God. What a disaster. I'm done, dude. For all we know, the whole rebuild could be ruined by that. Just so trash of an idea for the... why is the clock draining like that when the game is on the line? Sure, the rundown, but not in that situation. Chiefs win the Super Bowl over the Buccaneers. Who knows if we would have been there? I mean, who knows what happens, right? Robert Woods, who did go up in dev. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter, though, because he still hit kind of hard on that regression. Wow, that medium route drop is massive. Of course, he's still really good for his overall, but that catching did take a hit as well. I mean, Treylon Burks is number 1 for sure at this point. Malik Willis, of course, was already superstar from his QB breakout. Cunningham doesn't go to superstar. I'm forcing the dev. I'm sorry. He was honestly almost freaking defensive player of the year. He legitimately was almost defensive player of the year. He's actually insane. What else do we want to do? Let's see. Caleb Farley went to Superstar, which is pretty clutch. Nolan, I do not know if he started at Superstar or not. We're about to find out, I suppose. Nolan Smith with... yeah, he didn't start at Superstar, of course. For some reason, they're making him a run stopper, which is just fantastic. We're literally in a 3-4, but good job, EA. Love that. It's fun. Of course, he is that versatile player, but that's not how we want him to be for us. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to change some of his ratings around. I'm gonna take away 6 block shed and put it in finesse, which in fairness is actually probably an L because block shed is so much harder to get up than finesse. So I'll take the L just to make him more of a realistic player. So 80. That's actually not terrible, to be fair. We'll take that trade-off. You can't argue against it. Block shed is harder to get than finesse by a long shot. It's not even close. Of course, you can debate the Zach Cunningham thing, but I mean, I think 125 tackles, 4 interceptions, a bunch of tackles for loss, 2 picks in the playoffs in 1 game. I mean, I think he deserves superstar, and even then, he's still not even that great, to be honest. I was actually thinking about releasing him at one point, but good enough to be our starter for the next season or so, I guess. Maybe another season or 2. But, I mean, we've got a couple of dev-ups, whatever. It's all right, I guess. But wide receiver is still on the mind, obviously. We like Demus. Treylon Burks, the verdict's still up. But, yeah, Robert Woods is obviously going to be gone soon, and can't really keep him around too much longer, as this is probably his last season as a serviceable starter. But let's see, what could we actually get in free agency? So Terry McLaurin, a guy that's, if he were to be a free agent, would have been last year, so I don't know what to think about that. And if we were to pay him, it would be literally $30 million per year. Rashawn Gary's great and all, but I'm not paying that kind of money. Kareem Hunt, a guy that has kind of been a backup for some time now. Maybe not the worst call. Erik McCoy, versatile lineman. Maybe you put him at guard instead. The Saints are a team that can't really afford to keep all of their players. Not the worst call in the world. McCole Hardman. You know, the Chiefs definitely have a lot of wide receivers that they, once again, maybe not able to afford. McCole Hardman. I don't really know if we need that speed, though. Like, in real life, probably, but in game, I don't know if we need that speed. Erik McCoy, however, is just an absolute talent, and I would love to add him to the team. Probably some of these wide receivers aren't getting offers. Like, Slayton and Bryan Edwards seem like clear-cut, like, guys you would sign. Quez Watkins, just based on his speed alone, he would probably get paid a lot. I'm not really sure who to go for here. I think we're just going to rock with the guys we have once again. I'm just glad Akeem Hicks decided not to retire. Gave him that 2-year deal, and he's deciding to honor that. Going to be getting rid of Bud Dupree for a $6 million pen hit, which is not terrible. Inside linebacker Bobby Okereke would be not the worst move, but I think we're really lacking. He actually is a good coverage guy. I think we're going to actually offer him. A 4-year deal is not really particularly what I'm looking to sign a 27-year-old for, but he is superstar. Would give us 2 superstar linebackers. I know there's going to be people complaining about that one as well. But, yeah, I mean, I think he's a good pick. Of course, Fulton, really not developing for us. Maybe even corner is something we look at in the draft, but as of right now, I'm okay. Actually, do we have to pay Fulton next season? Because Greedy Williams, I know we're spending a lot of money here in free agency, though. The Bears, I mean, they're not really a direct competitor with us either. A 4-year 32 would put us above the Bears, but I don't know how much it would put us realistically to get him. Maybe even get rid of Taylor. Taylor Lewan had a good year, though. He really did. I don't know. Either way, we're going to just go on, see what happens, and then manage the money after the fact. See if we even need to manage much money. Might not even get half of these guys. But who do we get? So we get McCoy, which was by far the biggest one. Okereke was a decent move. And then Greedy Williams, maybe a little bit of a jumping the gun move, but I really just don't like the way Fulton's developed yet so far. So I might trade him off, depending on where he was drafted in real life. I can't even remember, to be honest, but maybe like a decent third, because he is good still. He's decently young. It's just he hasn't developed for us. Yeah, I might have jumped the gun a little bit. Christian Fulton's actually not bad at all, but we do get a little bit more of an athletic guy to match Caleb Farley. Not a huge fan of what we've done here today. I feel like we've committed a crime against cornerbacks, but he is pretty valuable, and I think we can easily get a mid-third, maybe high third, maybe even just get the original investment completely back. I was going to trade him to the Cardinals, but the Cardinals have actually fixed their corner room tremendously fast. We trade Christian Fulton to the Falcons, who absolutely need corner. They only have A.J. Terrell. The next highest overall is a 68 overall for 72 and 136 this year, which I think is completely fair. I mean, Christian Fulton's actually really good. I just kind of assume because his dev hasn't gone up and his overall hasn't gone up that he hasn't been, good. And he's just not a good player, but he's actually decent. Still think Greedy is the better player, though, obviously. But, probably not a move we necessarily needed to make, but at least I suppose it's kind of the same kind of move. We traded a 1-for-1 basically, and if Greedy's lucky, maybe he gets a dev up out the gate. Of course, a lot of yellow. Once again, you could argue that Cunningham shouldn't have superstar. I could also argue that he absolutely should. We need a left end / DT, so that's probably going to be our number one focus in the draft unless we see a solid wide receiver. But yeah, I really like the way the team looks right now, and I think McCoy is probably going to play left guard, leaving Freer without a job for the season. I think we're probably going to be moving on from Lewan next year, though. So, of course, Erik McCoy is going to play left guard for now, and then he's going to play left tackle for us next season. So maybe not moving around as much for the Saints, but pre-draft kind of that, move around the line kind of guy, and finally seeing that in his career. But yeah, I mean, the team has a ton of potential. Really need that DT, though. Maybe 2 of them. And outside of that, we're kind of all right for the future, but I am, once again, a tiny bit worried about this cap room. And by tiny, I mean, like, really, really worried about it. But, you let Hicks go. Oh, crap. Did they not even pay him this contract in game? I did not even think about that. We have been kind of on the blessed side. I haven't had to fix that. We are screwed. Okay, maybe Lawan leaves now because we broke. So I'm not even sure how the contract works. I didn't even look at it, but a 3-year 45 is pretty much what I gave him here because we're a couple of years in, obviously. So pretty much the same as real life, I'd imagine. But I think we're fine. Simmons is like, you know, you factor in Derrick Henry is probably another 15 mil per year. Simmons is about 20. So you're not really upping that much here. You're going to be getting rid of Hicks. So that's 16 mil accounted for now that you don't have to pay. So that cuts into that. So it's 10 mil, so 30 mil cap space. You have Lawan. He's going to be gone. That's another 15. So it's like 45 mil, right? So, I mean, it's not terrible. We add another year to him, obviously. You know, we can afford it. We're fine. We're fine. I was a little worried for a moment, but I think we're good. No offers on Terry McLaurin, Rashawn Gary, or Lamar Jackson. Nice. Realistic. Oh, I forgot about our punter, actually. I mean, punters that are good don't usually get let go, right? So Bradley Pinion, I guess, is probably like the only guy, unless we just draft a punter, but kind of whole sick of that, you know? Sick of that whole drafting thing. So for the draft, we may have to make a trade-up because there is a solid-looking defensive tackle that is in the draft here. You know, it said 1 to 2, but I just don't want to risk it because we've seen those 1 to 2s go all the way up to 18. So I'm going to probably go to 20 and just grab him if he's, you know, if he's still there. I'll make a trade-up, I suppose. You know, we're at pick 30, so it's going to be a little costly. Shouldn't be too crazy. Nothing more than maybe hopefully a second-round pick. And we'll show you in a second what they look like. So apparently 72 with 30 is literally dead even at 850 value each side. So we're going to give them that pick, which is kind of a high third, late second. And with that, we're going to be taking this DT, who I can't imagine is a miss. Of course, who the hell is Max Harrison? I mean, I'm happy with who we got anyways, but I mean, you see that 1 to 2 grade is very appealing. Of course, Mr. Snead with an A block shed and A tackle, 6'6", 303, 4'7", 40, super athletic in general, 35 bench press reps. I mean, the guy looks pretty damn talented. He's going to be our choice here, automatic starter. Normal development trade, unfortunately, but 88 strength, 80 speed, 80 excel. And once again, like we said in the past, if you get that star dev early, it's technically a blessing in disguise. We have another really intriguing player, and that's Will Gafford. He's 6 foot tall, 223, 21 years old, with a B man coverage, and he's very fast. Could this be like one of the most recent white cornerbacks ever? Like, I mean, like actually good at least. It's kind of crazy to think, but maybe. Fowler, of course, looks really good. This is a really good tight end class, but I still like who we got, even though he's, I mean, normal. I mean, I'm starting to think maybe not so much, but I can't trade up for a tight end, I don't think, right? I mean, there's so many good players here, but we're just not going to get any of them. Also, I just noticed this guy's name is literally Ross, which is just so stupid. We traded down 5 spots with the Bills to land a 5th round. I think it was this year or next year, one of the two, which is nice little value, I suppose. And with that pick, I guess I'll go Chris Adams, who's got that F run block, but everything else looks really good. So, I mean, I don't even know if we really need the guard, but I'm just going to grab him. Chris Adams, hidden development trait. And, I mean, I think we're pretty much set on linemen for, I mean, the rest of this by, I mean, a large margin, of course. As far as what we could go for next, there's that wide receiver Day, but there also is an undrafted projected wide receiver who's fast. Super raw, obviously, but still fast nonetheless. A little bit more on our value, our side of things, but sometimes quantity is better than quality, especially when it's, 5th round picks are decent. It's not easy to get those. If that's what you're aiming for, it might be the only way to get that. And with that, we are going to be ended up taking a linebacker, maybe for the future, Mr. Jeremiah Spitzer, who is very fast, very young, and, has some pretty good redeeming factors. B's man coverage, B play rec, A awareness, A catching. Could be a real steal for us. We're going to grab him, and he is. He's hidden development trade. That is a massive steal. He's really good. Not only is he ultra fast, but 84 jumping for a linebacker is really not something you see often. And then in the 4th round, which might be one of our last picks for a long time here, probably going to be taking I don't know actually what we're going to be taking here. Kenny Jones, we take yet another lineman. I don't actually know a whole lot about this guy. I put him on my list because he was young with some decent traits. Doesn't look terrible. Jalen Steele, we don't really need another linebacker, do we? He's athletic, but maybe we trade to the 5th round, grab Stockton, or trade this for next year, perhaps. Ooh, the Raiders. I know they're decent, but the Raiders, a 3rd round next year is a win. I know this is a high 4th, but, I mean, they could suck. I mean, they have some regression, some age. Is Carr even on their team at this point? I don't know. You know, sometimes he goes. I'm not sure. What do we have, though? Nothing. I don't like when the unprojected guys go so early. It's so annoying. Screw it, Jamal Stevens is still there, 22 years old, 2 to 3 round guy, whatever. Normal development trait, slower than I would have thought, terrible jumping, and I imagine with those potentials, we're seeing just an awful player in general. We're going to grab a 6th round punter who probably has something like 88, 89 kick power, but has an A accuracy, so that's who we're going to take. As expected, 89 kick power, which if that, that A accuracy is like 83 or something like that, not a bad punter. Maybe the successor to Pinion. I know having a backup punter is just so important. Draft recap. Looking at the overall, 76 overall. Of course, he's normal dev, but once again, it kind of proves that it's not just about the way things look, but the potentials. Spin move or swim move with Bull Rush, which is just literally all you need. Great player. As far as Chris Adams goes, left guard, if he were to play a position on the team, probably would be left guard because, man, that run block really was bad. But Freire, I mean, he's all right, but he is normal development trait. Our man here is hidden development trait, which could be, super, no, not superstar. And then the final guy, Spitzer, who will obviously be a middle linebacker. What other ratings did he have? 71 block shed. Coverage ratings definitely could use some work, but outside of injury and stamina and all that, he's such a great player. And we have seen superstars that kind of look like this, so nope. We haven't gotten any real dev guys lately in the drafts, but that's all right. And then Snead, I think it's a left, right end, I think we need. All right, looking at the team for year 3, obviously looking on the up and up is Willis is a 79 overall superstar, of course, 25 years old already, but developing quick enough considering he had to sit that whole year. Treylon Burks, 82 overall, obviously supposed to be a short route guy, kind of a medium to deep route guy. Very good at catching, though. Getting there, it's taken him a little longer, but Robert Woods would still be the number 2. Would. If not for the catching drop. He's literally only 83 catching, 87 catching traffic. Great route running, but his catching is a little iffy, so I kind of feel like that's more of a slot thing, right? To get open and catch it rather than being the true X or, Z. And it's just, you get a little bit more, what is it called? A little more focus when you're in that 1 or 2 spot. So we're going to put him in a slot. Demas, very good catching. 88 catching out the gate already. Very good deep route runner as well. So he's going to be the number 2. Okonkwo. Jesus, tough to say his name sometimes. He's getting there, but yeah, maybe we should have traded up for the other tight end. I don't know. Derrick Henry's still a 99 overall, thankfully. And then defense, lots of superstars. Love this, and just hoping Snead can develop quickly and, join this group of really elite defenders. Obviously, we're hoping we can afford everyone, and to my knowledge, I think we should be able to. A little bit worse of a season so far than we've been used to as of late. As far as re-signings go, pretty much everyone expected. Of course, got to add one more year there. But, I think we should be able to afford these guys pretty easily. I'm going to knock out Simmons first if we can, and we have plenty of money. I don't know why they go broke. Is it because they just don't get rid of Bud Dupree? A 5-year, 100-some mil, which, I mean, it's not like the craziest money considering, trying to get a player that's similar to him is not easy. But he also hasn't played crazy well, right? I haven't really paid attention to tackles for a loss too much, but he hasn't been that great. Of course, Derrick Henry is one of those once in, kind of a lifetime players, right? He is hard to replicate as well. 247 pounds of speed and power is not easy to get. Of course, Derrick Henry will accept that deal. 34 years old, basically, he's going to be paid till, so a little rough, but we afforded everyone easily, and if we really wanted to, if Akeem Hicks isn't terrible, he's still good, hasn't retired, could add him back as well. This is so far the biggest L of the entire rebuild. The man could have went to star, made him being normal a bonus, a positive, and instead sells. Playoffs time, not the greatest season, but good enough at 11-6. And more importantly, didn't matter because the whole division was awful. The Colts, the Jags, the Texans, they were all bad. Look at our season, of course, really bad start, and then we won 4 in a row, lost 1, won 2, lost 1, win, lose, and then a nice 4-win streak there at the end. The Colts, who were like 12-5, just sucked. The Jaguars, I mean, I don't really think it matters too much, to be honest. And then obviously the Texans are just so far away. They just look at all the losses. It's crazy. Well, let's take a look at the numbers. So Malik Willis, pretty much similar to last year. Of course, you know, we are kind of a run-heavy team, as you would expect. Derrick Henry, 1,706 yards with 21 touchdowns. Treylon Burks, 1,372 with 18 touchdowns as the true number one. Is it Demond? Is it not like Desmond? Maybe it is Demond. I don't know. Demas with nearly 1,000. Woods down year, obviously, as the number 3. And then Okonkwo with 651, 4 touchdowns, pretty much similar to last year. Linemen, blocking, great again. Taylor Lewan, I don't want to move on from him, but we just have so many offensive linemen. I think it's the smart move to go with. Nolan Smith, really good season again, 12.5 with a touch, an interception. 11.5 for Simmons after the contract re-signing, and then Harold Landry with 9 sacks. Decent sacks for Hicks, who also had 17 tackles for loss, you know, considering he's the nose tackle, not bad at all. And Caleb Farley, maybe an X factor. The man has kind of went off. Look how many 1 interception guys we had, though. I mean, look at this. 1. What was it? 7 guys with 1 interception apiece. Of course, Will Lutz signed him at week 10. With 6 for 6, and he hit 1 more attempt for the rest of the year. Sure, EA, I guess, if you say so. As far as awards go, maybe MVP for Henry. He had a good year. Maybe not that good, but number 9, actually. Never mind, not even close. But, okay, fair enough. Any award wins? I don't imagine there would have been. Oh, yeah, Treylon Burks, very good. And then Mr. Caleb Farley. So, going up against the team that kind of cucked us multiple times last year in the playoffs. Give it another go. Going to the end of the game, can we get our revenge? 7-0, nice start. And of course, they immediately take that away from us. 10-7, 10-14, 17-14, 24-14. Not a bad start to the first half. Nice little drive there, getting a field goal. Defense holding up. That's all we need is that touchdown. And with that being said, we are going to be moving on to the divisional round, but more importantly, knocking off the Kansas City Chiefs in the process, which is just the biggest accomplishment you can have. Of course, Mahomes throwing 2 interceptions, outperformed by Malik Willis. Obviously, Derrick Henry way outperforming Clyde Edwards-Helaire as well. Of course, Demas not bad, Woods not bad, and Treylon Burks just kind of just not to be found, I guess. Sack totals, Landry with 2, Simmons with 2, Nolan with 1, Snead with 1. Really good teamwork there. Farley and McCreary with interceptions. Completely forgot about McCreary almost. Bucker and Will Lutz did both miss field goals, but that kind of cancels each other out, doesn't it? But here we are going against the Broncos. Ooh, 13-4. Who the what? Who won their division? Chargers? Maybe? Was the Chargers. 13-4. The Ravens, the number 1 seed, though, who just got done playing in the Super Bowl, I believe. All right, fair enough. I mean, not the worst team, but also a new team. You know, it's not the worst one for us to try and win and make the championship again. And on the other side, you have the Bengals versus the Ravens. A classic divisional matchup. Of course, 14-0, really good start for us here. 17-0, 24-0. 31-0. The Broncos finally put up some points. 31-3, 38-3, 45-3. Oh my. That is a crazy one. Of course, Russell Wilson threw 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, under 200 yards. Malik Willis was great rushing. Derrick Henry, once again, crushing it. Treylon Burks waking up after last game's struggles. Unbelievable. Really good team win. Nolan Smith has been amazing for us. Caleb Farley is the pickmeister this season. So far, 8 total if you count the regular season. My man's going off. Championship round against the Bengals. Interesting. So we actually get home field advantage all the way through the playoffs with not the craziest record, to be honest. So that's kind of cool. Although on the other side, winner of this game may be doomed if they're just going to be playing the Cowboys or the Packers, two teams that have had some bit of luck in Madden Sim lately. Of course, looking at the touchdowns here, back and forth. There we go with the lead, 28-14. We are killing teams right now with our offense. 35-21, still a chance, but that field goal probably puts it away, and it will. Would have loved to see the defense play a little bit better in this one, but of course the offense never missed a beat. Again, limiting Joe Burrow to 0 touchdowns. Malik Willis is on a mission. Of course, Derrick Henry outperforming every running back that comes in his path. Of course, the tight end coming away with 2 touchdowns. Not bad. Hooper, sorry, pal, unfortunate. Robert Woods, 107 yards with a touchdown. I like to see that names that are kind of being forgotten here still coming up big in these big games. Good pass rush again. Will Lutz, really good kicking again. And we're headed to the Super Bowl. And it's going to be represented by the Cowboys. Not really surprised there at all, to be honest, with them being a 12-5 team. And I know it's technically not a home game because it's in the Super Bowl, but technically another home game. Of course, they probably would have had the bye week, but they had to beat the Panthers, which isn't super hard to do, and then the Packers. But you can see their scoring is a little low. So it is actually possible for us to win this thing. Who would have thought a Super Bowl win was possible without the Packers, the Buccaneers, or the Chiefs playbook? Now, getting a little ahead of myself because maybe nobody did, and maybe because for good reason, as we may not win this. But Treylon Burks looking a lot better now. We've been trying to work on that short route stuff. I mean, he's up to 80 now, I suppose. No dev up for Okonkwo, unfortunately. No dev up for Willis. Linebackers, I think, are all the same. I don't think anyone devved up on the defense. Not even Snead, unfortunately. Thought maybe Farley would have went to X Factor, but it's fine. Superstar is still really, really good. That's all you could really even ask for. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like we maybe made the right calls, the right decisions. Thankfully, Akeem Hicks believed in us because he's here in the Super Bowl. And maybe, just maybe, the Titans can win one. Going to the end of the game. Tennessee, after a stop on defense, gets the touchdown with another touchdown. Driving all the way down, we need to score there. Dallas isn't going to remain scoreless this whole game. Come on. 17-0, not bad. 17-7. It's 20-7. 20-10. 20-17. The choke is on, but we win because we hit the touchdown. And the Titans win the Super Bowl. More importantly, the Cowboys don't win the Super Bowl. Honestly, you could have a 99 overall team, and I swear there would still be at least 1 or 2 games where the Cowboys still win the Super Bowl. Like, it really is that nuts. Of course, Derrick freaking Henry winning a Super Bowl here, carrying this team. I can't really say carrying because Malik Willis actually did play really well in the defense. Super, super good, but there's the Lombardi. Willis, the champion. Tannehill's pissed. Julio's pissed. A.J. Brown's pissed. I mean, there's some players that are pretty mad, I would say. But Lawan gets a Super Bowl. You know, some of the guys that have been here for a while, Byard gets a Super Bowl. Of course, those linebackers that just recently left don't get a Super Bowl. But yeah, we win the game, and we do so with a run-heavy playbook. I mean, this is not a super common sighting for us. Maybe we can rock with those playbooks if the team is built in a way that you can. Obviously, having Derrick Henry is probably the ultimate way to be built. Siebert misses a kick. Interception for Zach Cunningham, who, I mean, last postseason was really good in the, with the picks. But we win the Super Bowl against the Cowboys. We had to beat the Chiefs as well to do this. And I can't even remember who else. I think the Bengals. There's probably some other team I just completely forgot about. But let's take a look at the team as we head out. As you know, we got our Super Bowl title. I'm not going to go for the dynasty because, I mean, you literally could win. Like I said, you can go with a 99 overall team and not win it every single time with the damn Cowboys around. I swear. Treylon Burks, 91 speed, 92 excel. I can't remember what he started with. I think it was 89 speed. looking really good. Great catching, great medium and deep route. Spec catch is a little bit less than I would have expected, to be honest. Release is all right. Short route needs some work. Juke ability is pretty good. As far as Derrick Henry goes, 99 overall still, even at 30 years old. Super fast, great trucker, amazing stiff arm, super strong, okay juke move. Malik Willis, 83 overall, sat for a year. He's 26 years old now. Deep accuracy kind of sucks, but everything else is pretty good. Awareness sucks as well, but really what you'd want him to upgrade is his under pressure and deep, obviously. Even gain some speed, which is impressive. Demas, 83 overall. They Demased him as a bust. I don't know if that's true. I decided to be really cringe with the thing, so I did it. Very good player for deep route. Everything else is awful, but he played his part. He was all right. Okonkwo. I keep saying his name right now. Yay. Deep route sucks, but everything else is great. I don't need him, even though he's fast, to be that deep route guy. I just need medium route, and he has an okay medium route. Wallace, 80 overall. He was our first rookie selected. Well, a first-year rookie, at least. He's okay. I mean, he's a good power blocker, but finesse sucks. And he's a tackle, so you know how I feel about that. Nate Davis, another guy that's probably finesse. Great. Love everyone just playing the wrong position. Finesse? You got a finesse? Of course, finesse. McCoy, of course, is just great in general. He's going to be good across the board. Oh, maybe not. Bad power, so he's going to have to play left tackle after this season, which is kind of what the plan was anyways, which kind of works out, I guess. Nolan Smith. The man is great. Has been great ever since starting as a rookie. We traded that block shed for finesse, and he hasn't upgraded a single block shed since. He's 89 finesse now. Good coverage rating as well. He's just a do-it-all beast. Bobby Okereke, a huge helper this season. Great coverage ratings. Block shed upgraded a little bit. Super smart player. Great tackler. Cunningham, 29 years old now. 82 overall. Decent block shedder. Sucks at coverage. Of course, Harold Landry, he's been okay. I mean, he's probably more of a 10 mil a year player rather than nearing 20. But 92 finesse, pretty good stuff. I feel like his athleticism ratings have gone down over the years in Madden. Am I wrong to think that? Of course, Byard, still really good at his age. Amani Hooker, really haven't talked much about him. Hasn't done a whole lot, but 85 overall with great zone. Greedy Williams, we just got him, and he's okay. I mean, he's nothing spectacular, but he's all right. Kind of feel bad for Christian Fulton now, but Caleb Farley, really good man corner. Just, carrying the hell out of us. 6 picks and whatnot. Just great numbers. Of course, McCreary, really good man corner as well. And then I suppose the last guy would be Jeffrey Simmons, who's a 98 overall, 91 power move, 97 block shed, 98 strength guy. He's just a monster. And yeah, that's going to be the realistic style rebuild of the Tennessee Titans. I think I'm probably going to do a fantasy draft rebuild for Sunday. But outside of that, I'm not really sure what we do next. Have we done every single team now that kind of deserves one? Or is there a team I'm forgetting? Let me know in the comment section below if you guys enjoyed. Maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, appreciate your continued support. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PKR Plays. No upload tomorrow. If there would be one, it would be a second channel upload. And then Saturday would be like 2 uploads more than likely. And then once again, that fantasy draft rebuild more than likely on Sunday. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend or enjoy your weekend. Obviously, like I said, unless the second channel upload, no upload. So it's kind of like a future thing, I'm from the future. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for the next video. But until next video, see ya.